It's been 26 years since O.J. Simpson was acquitted for the murders from trial, and a lot of updates have been made recently leading into the case of O.J. Simpson's case. Today, we're going to talk about the infamous O.J. Simpson case and trial, the updates into the matter, along with other celebrity news. So sit back, relax, and stay tuned for more. Is O.J. Simpson a free man? Simpson was on parole for a long time, but his parole period is over and he's now officially a free man as of December 6, 2021. He was due to finish parole in February 2022, but the Nevada Board of Parole Commissioners decided to conduct an early discharge for O.J. Simpson, as stated by Nevada Police spokesperson Kim Yoko Smith. Simpson's case turned into an Emmy and award-winning television series by the name of The People vs. O.J. Simpson in 2016. Who is O.J. Simpson and what is the case about? The whole O.J. Simpson case seems like something straight out of a crime fiction novel and movie. The former celebrity and NFL star was accused of the murder of his wife, Nicole Brown, and the murder of waiter Ron Goldman. But despite the fact that everyone seemed to be pointing at him, he went off scot-free, and in one of the most infamous court hearings and trials that have taken place in the 20th century. The O.J. Simpson trial has been a cult favorite, and the televised trial was something that captivated the nation. There were other complications involved, as well as where he was accused of and charged with kidnapping and armed robbery. It's pretty ridiculous how crazy the life of a former NFL player and celebrity could turn out to become a whole reality show. USC football star O.J. Simpson started off from humble beginnings, as we detail everything from here on out. O.J. Simpson started off playing football for his college and was pretty good at it too. He displayed good sportsmanship and rapport as he cooperated with his team. In the 1960s, he became a football star as he was appointed the running back for the University of Southern California in Los Angeles football team. O.J. Simpson excelled in the sport to a high degree. He got to a point in his college football career that he was appointed the Heisman Trophy. NFL success. Things turned out pretty good for O.J. Simpson as he decided to participate in the NFL draft. Due to his high skill level and merit, he was the first pick in the first round of draft of the 1969 NFL League. He truly made a name for himself as he played for the Buffalo Bills. He was a great sprinter as well, and his dashes were phenomenal as he managed to dash more than 2,000 yards in a single season in the year of 1973. Simpson finally retired from the game in 1979 and was finally inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. O.J. Simpson decided to retire and give a good life with his family. He lived with his wife, Margaret Whitley, and his two amazing kids, Sydney and Justice, in their beautiful home. The film industry. O.J. Simpson left the football game and went on to star in Hollywood movies and became a part of the big film industry. He went on to star in commercials for the Hertz brand and was also a co-star in movies such as Capricorn 1, which was released in the 1970s. His film career didn't end there, as he starred in future movies as well, such as the Naked Gun films, which were filmed throughout the 70s and 80s. Nicole Brown. O.J. Simpson started off his life with Nicole Brown in the summer of 1985 after he left his ex-wife Margaret Whitley, with whom he had children. Simpson had two kids by the name of Sydney and Justin, but his second marriage didn't last long either when in 1992, Simpson and Nicole Brown filed for divorce. The killings. You might think O.J. Simpson buried the hatchet and moved on with his life, but something caught him that led him to viciously murder his wife and her lover. On the night of June 12, 1994, Nicole Brown decided to go to a restaurant to dine in with her family in Los Angeles. She caught an eye for Ron Goldman, a waiter, and he managed to make his way into Nicole Brown's home by returning a pair of glasses that her mother left behind. But the gruesome incident occurred where Nicole and Ron were found stabbed to death at her residence. Coincidentally, Simpson was present in Los Angeles the night of June 12th, but decided to take a flight to Chicago. He had to return to Los Angeles the next day, where he was thoroughly interviewed and interrogated by police officials. Car chase. On June 17, 1994, instead of surrendering to the police like a normal human being, Simpson decided it was best to run away in a white Ford Bronco with his friend Al Cowlings, which incited a slow-speed police chase that caused the Southern California freeway to be closed up, and the incident drew a television audience of around 95 million. The infamous trial. In 1995, the infamous trial of O.J. Simpson took place, which was broadcasted by news and media outlets, and millions of Americans tuned into the trial. The defense attorneys had the agenda that Simpson had been wrongly accused of the murder, but the prosecution argued that he was a manipulative and abusive ex-husband who had a history of domestic abuse. Prosecution argued that there were smudges of blood in Simpson's car, and it was unaccounted on the night of the killings for hours. The infamous glove scene. The glove scene in the O.J. Simpson trial has become an iconic part of the judicial system's history. Few things were wrong with the scene. He was trying on a pair of leather gloves which would have shrunken due to moisture and damp weather, and Simpson was known to be on arthritis medication, which he might have stopped taking. This might have caused inflammation in his hands, which caused the gloves to not fit properly. But he struggled marvelously in what would be considered an Oscar-worthy acting scene. The defense attorney was quick to say, "If it don't fit, you gotta acquit." But in 1997, a jury found O.J. Simpson liable for the death of Nicole and had to pay $33.5 million to the Brown and Goldman families in restitution. Criminal conviction. Things couldn't seem to get any crazier, but boy did they, as O.J. Simpson was found guilty in a botched robbery and was sentenced to 33 years in prison. One of the people who were a witness and the victim of the alleged robbery scene stated that they couldn't figure out if O.J. Simpson was plain ignorant or just arrogant. When the trial took place and they came to face with him, they realized that O.J. Simpson was in fact both ignorant and arrogant at the same time. The crime wasn't a misunderstanding, but a full-fledged robbery where a gun was drawn. The atmosphere in the room was tense and harm was quite probable. Simpson apologized in court that he didn't understand what he was doing was illegal and he was sorry about it. Parole. A new trial in 2013 for Simpson was asked for but rejected, but he was granted parole the same year for some of the charges due to staying out of trouble and displaying overall good behavior. He had to wait until 2017 to appear before the parole board. O.J. Simpson told the parole board that he's had his share of run-ins with the law, but despite all of that, he's the type of guy that got along with pretty much everyone. O.J. Simpson, 7 years old on October 1st, 2017, finally walked out of Lovelock Correctional Institute, Nevada. Angelina Jolie PTSD. Angelina Jolie finally opened up about the fact that she's been suffering from PTSD for many years. She shared the lessons she learned over the years with people to teach them how it affected her life and how people can cope with the disorder. Despite the revelation of the diagnosis, she never really revealed what the cause of it all was. However, she did admit that playing the role of Thena in The Eternals helped her think about opening up on the issue. No Way Home cast. All the rumors about Andrew Garfield starring in the new Spider-Man movie turned out to be true, as the former Spider-Man turned up in the movie. You wouldn't expect it, but many fan favorites also returned, as Tobey Maguire also played his role as the Raimi Spider-Man. We also saw many villains return from the original Spider-Man trilogy and the Spider-Man reboot as well, such as Sandman, Doc Ock, played by Alfred Molina, Electro, and the Green Goblin, played by the amazing William Dafoe. No Way Home is certainly the most ambitious crossover superhero movie of the century. And that's all we could fit into today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on, or we don't know what O.J. Simpson might do to you. Just kidding. As always, we make sure to put up videos every day, so stay tuned for future videos. See you later, and goodbye.